Hello everyone. So in this video I am going to explain about Newton law of motion. So it's a mixture of theoretical as well as I will give you idea about some objective question that may be asked in the examination. So let's start with the Newton law of motion. Newton, the father of physics, established the law of motion in his book Principia in 1687. So as per me this is also one of the important question. Okay, so in which book Newton has mentioned his law of motion? Book name Principia, and it was published in 1687. Now next is Newton first law of motion. Okay, so the question may be as related to this concept. So we should focus on this point. Everybody maintain its initial state of rest or motion with uniform speed on a straight line unless an external force acts on it. Simple. We are seated. I am sitting at my chair, okay, and I am at my stable state. So I will not move till someone push me or I want to push. I want to change my position. If someone will come and push me, definitely my position will be changed. So this is only the Newton law of motion. Another is like this is for the stable condition. Now another is like somebody is moving in very fast. Just example, our car is moving. So to stop the car, we have to apply a brake. Otherwise, it will not stop. Okay. Now, first law is also called law of Galileo or law of inertia. So this is important point. Like which Newton law is called law of Galileo or law of inertia. So first law of motion called as a law of Galileo or law of inertia. Now next point, inertia. Inertia is the property of body by virtue of which the body opposes the change in its initial state of rest or motion with uniform speed on a straight line. Inertia is of two types: inertia of rest, inertia of motion. Okay, let's see some example of inertia. When a car or train starts suddenly, the passenger bends backward. We always feel this on a car or train. Uh, just assume at some station our train has stopped and we are at our stable position. When the train starts, what happen? We bends backward. It's due to a law of inertia, because our body at that when the train stopped, when train is stopped, our body is in a stable state and it still wants to be in a stable state, but suddenly a train has started. So we are at the same position, but train started to move forward, so we bend backward. Now next, when a running horse stops suddenly, the rider bends forward. Yeah, because just example, someone is anyone is a rider on a horse, okay, and a horse is moving, so parallelly rider is also moving on the top of horse. So what happening? So rider body is in moving position and that moving direction is forward. So what happened? Horse stopped suddenly, so horse position got stopped, but due to inertia our body wants to move in the forward direction only. Okay, so due to sudden stop of horse, our body is still in moving state. So due to this, rider bends forward. When a coat blanket is bitten by a stick, the dust particles are removed. So these are the law of example of inertia. So these things we should keep remember, like in the examination question may be asked like this kind of situation has occurred and it's due to which law. So simply it's law of inertia. First law gives the definition of force. Yes. Uh, first law gives the definition of force. This is also one of the important objective question. Like Newton, which law gives the definition of force? First law. Newton, which law gives the definition of force? First law. Newton, first law also called Galileo law or law of inertia. This is also one of the important point. Inertia is of two type: inertia of rest, inertia of motion. Now next, what is force? Force is the external cause which, when acts on body, change or try to change the initial state of rest or motion with uniform velocity of the body. Very simple. Force is the external cause, and when it acts on some body, it just change the position of body, like either it is in a stable state or motion state. Simply, you are seated somewhere and someone came and push you, means that person has applied force on you and changed your position. Simply, someone is running very fast and suddenly you came and hold him, so that person will be stopped. So it means you just apply force on the person and his moment, like motion, got stopped due to the force only. Now let's see momentum. Momentum is the property of moving body and is defined as the product of mass and velocity of the body. And SI unit is kg meter second. So this, the formula is important. Like in the examination question may be asked like, what is the formula of momentum? The answer will be mass into velocity. The formula of momentum, mass into velocity. The formula of momentum, mass into velocity. Now Newton's second law of motion. The rate of change of momentum of body is directly proportional to the applied force on the body and takes place in direction of force. So what does Newton's second law describes? Newton's second law describes rate of change in momentum of body is directly proportional to the applied force of body, and that we also call like that in the formula term we say F is equal to m into A, because it's change in momentum. So change in what is momentum? Momentum is mass into velocity. So mass into velocity, change in momentum. So initially mass will be constant always, mass never change of any person, but velocity gets changed. So mass into initial velocity m, initial momentum mass into velocity v1, last momentum mass into velocity v2. So rate of change of momentum means mv2 minus mv1, and to get the rate of change we have to divide definitely by time. So mv2 minus mv1 divide by time, and it will give you us formula F is equal to ma. Now let's see, Newton's second law gives the magnitude of force, means F is equal to ma, and Newton's first law is contained in the second law. Yeah, that is also the point, but still I want to revise one more time. Newton's first law gives the definition of force. Newton's second law gives the magnitude of force. Just keep remember these two different things because it may confuse in examination. Newton's first law gives the definition of force, and also called Galileo law, and also called Galileo law. Newton's second law gives magnitude of force. Now Newton's third law. Newton's third law of motion. To every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So example of third law: recoil of gun, motion of rocket, swimming while drawing water from the well. If the string breaks up, the man drawing water fall back. So every action is equal to reaction. Simply if you hit on someone, you will, same reaction will happen on your body also. That may be invisible, but it happen. This is the third law of Newton. Now principle of conservation of linear momentum. So this will I will this point I will cover in next video. Thank you.